playing our song, the one that Ellen and I danced to.
Brittany Murphy had made a name for herself, rising to fame for her roles in Clueless, 8 Mile, and Girl Interrupted.
Some really strange news out of Hollywood.
The father of actress Brittany Murphy wants the investigation into his daughter's 2009 death reopened.
She was murdered.
The Los Angeles County Coroner's Office ruled the 32-year-old actress died from natural causes related to pneumonia.
Something was wrong.
Bertolotti ordered a new toxicology report from an independent firm. The report says high levels of 10 heavy metals were found in a sample of Murphy's hair.
He believes that the star of the movie Clueless was in fact murdered.
Her family has had a lot of questions.
This hair sample alone cannot be used to support an allegation of poisoning.
She was a good person.
It was December 20. LA Fire Department was called to the home of Brittany Murphy. Her husband had been trying desperately to revive her. She had gone into the shower and collapsed. Nothing could be done. She was raced to the hospital and she was pronounced dead that afternoon. At first, the LA coroner stated that the cause of death seemed to be of natural causes. An autopsy was performed the day following her death, and it was only then we learned that the coroner said cause of death deferred. That raised a red flag as to the cause of death of movie star Brittany Murphy.
The call for help came just after 8 a.m. early Sunday morning. Actress Brittany Murphy had collapsed in her Los Angeles home.
The LA County Coroner's Office tells us paramedics found her in the bathroom, unconscious and unresponsive. It's reported she may have had the flu, and the assistant coroner told us prescription drugs in Murphy's name were found at the house, but no illegal drugs. The coroner says she's believed to have died of natural causes.
But it seems there was no protecting Murphy. As her star rose in Hollywood, the healthy-looking, bright-eyed brunette began to appear frail and thin. In 2003, a blonde, skinny Murphy graced the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine. In 2005, Maxim magazine put her on the cover and called her a sex bomb. That same year, Jane magazine asked her about her weight loss and rumors that it was due to cocaine use. The actress told the magazine, quote, "I have never tried it in my entire life. I've never even seen it. I am also way too high-strung. I can't even take Sudafed. I think my heart would explode."
She could play any role. In real life, she was known as sugary sweet, but authentic. But she could play any role handed to her, changing not only her appearance, but her demeanor. Some of her biggest hits, of course, she was on Broadway with Arthur Miller's A View from the Bridge and Bongwater, but she really became a household name when she starred in Clueless.
Playing our song, the one that Ellen and I danced to. Rolling with Sovy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Don't cry.
I'm sorry.
From there, she went on to independent movies like Freeway, but then there was starring with Michael Douglas in Don't Say a Word, 8 Mile with Eminem, Uptown Girls with Dakota Fanning, Just Married with Ashton Kutcher. The big one, Girl Interrupted with Angelina Jolie and Winona Ryder. If she did not have leading lady status before, she had it for sure. So she moves to LA, gets married. She's starring in all these major roles, even buys the house belonging to Britney Spears for about $3.85 million. She is living the life.
Well, how could fun things be difficult in any way, shape, or form? I mean, honestly, wouldn't you rather have fun than not have fun? It was a blast, man. It really was an absolute blast. So I don't know how else to just describe how much fun I did have. Hopefully it's there on the screen, because it was really a ball.
There are calls for Brittany Murphy to be exhumed. there are calls, which I think are more realistic, for a reopening into the investigation of Brittany Murphy's death. It seems to me that the coroner's office does not want a reopening. I find that disturbing. If family members are suffering this much pain and are this convinced that there was foul play, why not reopen the case?
What's your favorite memory of your daughter, Karen? When you think of her, what do you think of?
Everything. I mean, because she was so just a loving, beautiful angel that just had the biggest heart in the world and was so giving and kind and precious. We were one. We were inseparable. We grew up together. I mean, and would take the time for every single person she passed that needed her, homeless people, little children.
The most important thing that we can do for Brittany Murphy now is to seek the truth.
Byron Smith admitted to police that he shot and killed 18-year-old Haley Kiefer and her cousin, 17-year-old Nick Brady, after they broke into his home.
Time noticed that the second victim was still gasping. Mr. Smith told us he then placed his .22 caliber pistol under the victim's chin and fired a final shot.
When I first heard about the case, I assumed it would be open and shut, right? A senior citizen sitting in his own home, minding his own business, is broken into. Intruders come into his home, and this is not for the first time. He's been burglarized many times before. They come into his home to burglarize again, possibly even kill him, and he shoots them before they can shoot him, right? Open and shut. This is called the castle law in Minnesota, but it's essentially the same across the country. You're in your home, you're broken into, you can shoot the intruder to protect yourself. It didn't play out exactly that way in the case of Byron Smith.
Did you specifically tell Bill that you had maybe shot somebody that broke into your house or anything? Or?
The same people, the same pattern. It goes back a long time.
Okay. When did that start? When did it start where people
First
were
time
breaking
it
into your
happened
house?
was, I'm guessing, 12 to 15 years ago, and there was a sheriff's report on it when they broke into the garage and tore up a bunch of packing cases. I had not gone to anyone for Thanksgiving. I am somewhat uncomfortable with other people's family holidays. Some people enjoy it and it helps them feel home-like. I feel like a little out of place. It's not the kind of social thing I do.
This all happened on Thanksgiving Day. Byron Smith sitting alone in his home. He's in his basement, sitting in his easy chair. It sounds innocent, right? But the more facts we learn make it seem more nefarious. We learn that Byron Smith is, yes, sitting in his easy chair, but he has kind of booby-trapped the furniture in his home to catch burglars. He is flanked on either side by bookshelves, so no one can see that he's sitting there. He's sitting with bottles of water, snacks, energy bars, and 2 loaded weapons, waiting.
And I hear someone rattling the upstairs door by the garage where everybody comes and goes. This is wrong. I hear somebody walking across the deck. It's got the wooden planks so you can hear people walk on it. And then somebody was rattling the upstairs door. And I'm getting seriously stressed because somebody wants in and they're trying to sneak in, and it's happened before.
On that day, Byron Smith is sitting, as I said, in his easy chair, and he hears someone trying to get into his home. Also, we know all this because of State's Exhibit number 1. Byron Smith had a home surveillance system in place that videoed much of what went down that day. He finally hears the breaking of glass. He knows somebody's coming in. He doesn't call 911. He doesn't scream out for help. He doesn't scream out to warn the burglars, hey, I hear you. You're about to get shot. Nothing. Brady comes down the stairs, and according to what we can tell from the forensics, he turns to leave when he realizes somebody's at home and takes the first shot, at least, on the back left shoulder. After that, he shot 2 more times. It's very plain to see and hear on the surveillance video that Byron Smith then takes him, puts him on a tarp. You can hear Byron Smith huffing and puffing, breathing heavily from physical exertion, and drags him over the room on the tarp, away from his carpet, so the boy wouldn't bleed to death on Byron Smith's carpet. Shortly after that, Haley Kiefer comes down the stairs, and you can hear her say, Nick, Nick. She's looking for her cousin, and then boom, she's shot. Both of these teens are unarmed. She falls. You then can hear Byron Smith say, you're dying, bitch.
You're dead. Oh, sorry about that. You're dying. I feel a little bit safer. Not totally safe. I'm still shaking a bit, but a little bit safer. I left my house at 11:30. They were both dead by 1. I refused to live in fear. I felt like I was cleaning up a mess. Worse than spilled food. Worse than vomit. Worse than... Cleaning up a mess. You're dead.
He puts the girl on a tarp so she too would not bleed on his basement carpet and make a mess. And then takes his gun to the girl he knows to be dying, puts the weapon to her left neck, just behind the ear, and pulls the trigger. He also puts the gun up under her chin, execution style, and pulls the trigger. And then says, you're dead, bitch.
I felt like I was cleaning up a mess. Not like spilled food. Not like vomit. Not even like diarrhea. The worst mess possible. And I was stuck with it. I was doing my civic duty. Because the law enforcement system couldn't handle it, and I had to do it. I had to do it. The law system couldn't handle her. And it fell in my lap. And she dropped her problem in my lap. And she threw her problem in my face. And I had to clean it up. I have not yet called the sheriff. They weren't human. I don't see them as human. I see them as vermin.